The Kumbh Mela is a significant pilgrimage and festival in Hinduism, attended by millions of devotees. It occurs every 12 years and is held at 4 rotating locations across India. The event commemorates the mythological churning of the ocean, known as Samudra Manthan, where the nectar of immortality was obtained.
How do these deepfake detection mechanisms work? So one question would be that, and second would be this AI detection text. If we talk about AI text detection tools, are they effective? Will they be effective in the future or not?
Yeah. So let's take the first question, right? So these systems are trained using something called adversarial techniques, right? So adversarial techniques means, simplest way to explain is net practice in cricket. So you have batsman, you'll have a bowler. And let's assume there's no bowling machines, right? So there's bowler, human batsman. So now as the batsman is practicing, say as Kohli is practicing his shots, what is the bowler trying to do? Bowler is trying to bowl in a way where he exploits Kohli's weaknesses, let's say, right? So he's learning what Kohli is doing on that day in that net, and he's trying to say, okay, how can I beat him? How can I get him clean bowled? How can I get him leg before? How can I make him play the wrong shot? Right? Now, as the bowler is trying these tricks, Kohli is a very experienced batsman. He's going to say, oh, look, ये ऐसी बॉल डाल रहा है, इसने वो देख लिया, मैंने ऐसे किया तो उसने वैसी बॉल डाली. So he is learning the patterns of the bowler. So they are both learning from each other's output, right? So in this case, we would have there are 2 models running side by side. So there's a model that creates the image, and there's a model that detects whether it's a fake image or not. Now, because they are working in a closed loop system, they don't need a lot of label data, because you know the image that is coming through from there is actually, it's a fake image, you know that. So you can label it automatically, you can say fake. And what you can then also do is mix in a bunch of real images, right? And there are a lot of sources of photographs and stuff. You can mix in a bunch of real images and say label that as real. That's also very easy, because those images are real. And then you can reward the judge model, or the sort of model that's trying to understand the sort of difference between real and fake. You reward it. If it gets it correct, it gets rewarded, so it learns, right? Just like if your net bowler gets a wicket of Kohli, say he'll be rewarded, he'll be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that in the match, right? So then you take both the things apart, and the bowler has learned some skills to play against batsmen like Kohli. So when he meets him in IPL, he will say, I'm going to use exactly that technique.
Right.
So that's how then that discriminator model or judge model.
Very interesting way to actually describe that. I really went into that vision mode, and I was understanding all those things. And the second part about the AI text detection. So there are so many AI text detection tools. Do you think they're effective? Will they be able to identify that it was written by a human or not? Because also the other side to it, what if I wrote everything and now it says ki it is AI written? That is a possibility, I think, and most of the time it happens when I go and check.
Yeah. So there's a very funny thing about text, right? The funny thing about text is that we don't really care if it's written about with AI or not. What we care is that is it right or not, or is it semantically correct or not? That is our main concern, right? So the same way is that, for example, if you're giving a child a test, right? You're not worried about that, okay, is how neat their handwriting is per se, or how have they expressed themselves, is it long, short. What you'll say is, okay, are the facts there? As a teacher checking the exam, you're checking the facts, right? And let's assume it's a history paper or something, you're looking for those key facts. You're not looking for incorrect facts. Like if I get the date wrong, then I don't know, I might have the best handwriting in the world, but I'll still get a 0. So wo problem hai. That is a bigger problem. So the problem being that how do you fact check, to your point, right? And fact check, and both in terms of real, as in the facts like dates, places, people, but also the interpretation of those facts, right? So जैसे अगर आपका context बदल दिया जाए, so let's take a very good example, right? Let's say War of 1857, जो हमारी first वो थी real battle against the colonial rule, that can be seen from both sides. If the AI is positioned from, say, the colonial perspective, they can say, oh, colonial people got injured, there was fight, they lost many people, it was not fair. If you look at it from the sort of mutineers' point of view, so that's the sort of interpretation of the facts.
There's a thing that I see on Reel occasionally on this, that the world will always listen to Hunter's story till the time the lion tells his story.
Exactly.
So that's the same concept that you're talking about.
It is the interpretation, right? Which side you take. And the good thing that AI can do is you can actually give it a set of facts, and you can get it to interpret from both sides. And as you were saying, right, you mentioned that point in the editor part, that it helps you balance. So take this from here, take this from here. Now, the key problem that I find when it comes to text also is that very few people have patience to read stuff, right? So if you give that balance out, maybe AI can then help you compress the message as well.
So do you think text, like when we were young, I remember you writing those, doing those handwriting, taking those handwriting classes, but वो सब अब चला गया है. No one writes anymore. Do you think text will go after a point with the new formats and reels that are there? People are watching more and more content daily. Their attention span has gone low. 15-second, 10-second का attention span हो गया है अब with the Gen Alphas and the other generations that are out there. So do you think text will completely go? No one would read, write, or बातें तो होंगी. We are still talking. We will be still talking, I think, but reading and writing specifically, because that's a major concern that I see for this younger generation, Gen Alpha that is out there. I don't see them reading, writing, even the topmost part of the question. So, do you think this will go? This will finally be erased out of the history?
No, I don't think so, because I'll tell you, text is a very good medium to even drive things. Like software is what? It's text. Text that we use to drive things, right? So the same way, say, if you're a content creator or if you're a whatever, right, person who doesn't like to read a lot of stuff, AI will help you. It will say, look, there are 500 pages worth of reports that I've given you, right? Digest it to 1 page, or maybe digest it 10 page, and then get me just bullet points from that even, right? So you might say, okay, I'll look at some bullet points and I'll go to that part in those 10 page summary. So I will probably end up reading maybe 3-4 pages from those 10 pages, but I'll refer it through that set of bullet points.